Welcome to the Vernon Hills Update. The update offers information about a variety of village services. You'll meet a few of your neighbors, and you'll find out about upcoming events. On today's show, we'll head to Vernon Hills High School, where we'll talk with Principal Dr. Ellen Swick and Dr. John Gilliam about their upcoming transition year. We'll run down some of the back-to-school dates for our local schools. We'll take a quick look at the village's newly designed website, which offers visitors lots of information in an easy-to-read format. We'll check out what's in store for this year's Little Bear Rib Fest, which will be held on August 23rd and 24th at Little Bear Lake in Century Park. And we'll see what the bug experts at Clark recommend for keeping mosquitoes at bay, both around town and in our yards. If you have comments or suggestions, please contact Mike Storto at 847-918-3560 or email mikes@thehills.org. Thank you for tuning in to the Vernon Hills Update.
Well, here at the Update, we like to introduce you to good neighbors to know. Although these folks are probably very familiar to you, we're over at Vernon Hills High School, one of the key schools to our viewing area. We're with Dr. Ellen Swick, who's the current principal, and with Dr. John Gilliam, who's the associate principal, who will be transitioning into the principal role. So thank you for taking a moment to talk with us. And we are coming up on a big year, and I know you've been so excited about being at school here that I know you've got some mixed feelings, but talk to us about how you came to be here at Vernon Hills High School and this experience, because it's been kind of a unique experience to start a school and have such a young school.
Yeah, I came here in the fall of 2001 and basically was from the western suburbs and just kind of said, I'm ready to try a high school district, and kind of went away from my comfort level and just instantly fell in love with Vernon Hills High School and the community here. And I was assistant principal for 2 years and kind of transitioned with Jim Whittington, who opened the school, and have been here, I think I'm my 11th year as principal here at Vernon Hills High School.
How could it be that long? It seems like only yesterday.
Yeah, it's went by.
Yeah. It went fast, didn't it?
It has.
And you've been in education your whole life. That's
Yes.
where your heart is.
Yeah. It's just, this school has just been wonderful. It was really exciting to open a new school and really be able to say from the very beginning, okay, we have this luxury of deciding from the ground up how we want to be as a school. And it was really exciting to work with staff and parents in the community to just say, let's build this dream school. And it's just been a wonderful ride. And I would say, one of the things that I'm just most proud of is just the relationships that I see between our staff and our students. It's just a pleasure to just walk around and see teachers working with and talking with kids and helping kids to learn and grow. And it's really been a highlight for me to watch us grow and develop from a brand new school into, we're not brand new anymore. So
Well, it still feels new to a lot of us. And you've been around for a lot of that time, too. You've been around. We see you around.
I've been around. I was actually on the interview committee that hired Dr. Swick.
Really?
Yeah.
You came out of the classroom, too.
I did. I was actually at Libertyville as a teacher and then math department supervisor, and then came to Vernon Hills when we split. Half of us came as administrators. So I was the math department head to start. And then when Dr. Swick became principal, she got me as her assistant in 2003. And so we've been working together for that many years. It's been great.
So this is a transition year then, so you're going to she's going to start handing over the reins a little more.
Yeah, it's actually really special to be able to do it this way. Most incoming principals don't have that. So to be able to work with her kind of hand in hand this next year, and we've been working together hand in hand for a lot of years anyway, so we know each other pretty well. But as she transitions out, I'll be able to get more and more responsibilities. It'll be seamless. Looking forward to it, for sure.
Definitely seamless. And I know you guys come with a lot of stories. As we said, Vernon Hills is one of the main high schools for our viewing area. All the schools around are tremendous. We're really lucky in this region. The feeder schools, the high schools, we're in tremendous company around here.
yeah, it's all this whole area. You just see all the communities working together. All the high school principals know each other. We share, ideas about programs and have meetings together a lot. And really, everybody just does a great job of supporting one another.
Yeah, it is a tremendous, the community is really behind education. You can tell it's a priority. And when we talk about education, Vernon Hills High School, even though we're one of the smaller high schools, what did you tell me the enrollment is right now?
About 1,350 students is our average around.
Okay. So, kind of on the smaller side as some of the high schools go around here. But really, we make a huge impact. Our students and our staff make a huge impact. Academic-wise, there's, national rankings in magazines. We got kids acing ACTs. We got academic teams that just go off the charts. I mean, it's something else.
It is something else. And that's one thing that the board committed to early on, is this idea that we would have a smaller school, but still all the offerings of a big school. So we are so fortunate, and our kids really are blessed. And it shows. The results are there. Like you said, we've been highlighted in some recent awards, and that goes right back to the hard work that our kids are doing with our teachers in the classroom. And we're fortunate for sure.
Well, and as a former math head, we were recently ranked 19th in the U.S. News and World Report STEM education list. STEM meaning, tell us what STEM is.
Well, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. So what this particular award is looking at our scores on the AP exams for math and science. We don't have an engineering and a technology per se, but they look at math and science, and our scores were high enough to give us that really tremendous ranking. So,
well, and it comes back like the math team, the WISE engineering team, all those teams, they always go out and just nail it out there.
They do. I mean, our first state champion was our math team, and every year those teams, those academic teams, Academic Bowl is another one, our FBLA and DECA teams, consistently are state ranked. So it's really a great honor.
Mr. Gilliam talked about AP. Let's talk about AP classes, meaning advanced placement. And so many kids take them, and what the benefit is, because it does cut down on your college expenses, that's for sure.
Right. Yeah, we really encourage our kids to always stretch themselves with the curriculum, and we always try to encourage them to take at least one AP or honors class. And many of our kids take multiple, but wherever that student is, we just want them to stretch to the next level, and along with teacher recommendations, encourage them to select a rigorous curriculum for them at whatever level they're at.
And we do have a lot of kids. Didn't we have like the most, Libertyville and Vernon Hills high schools are together in the same district. And I think I was reading on your website, like the highest number of AP exams ever. It just keeps growing.
It does keep growing. And one of the goals that Dr. Clough had as superintendent, and now Dr. Lee does, is that the number of AP exams that we give would increase, as well as the number of high scores. And that typically doesn't make sense. The more that you give, you probably start to have students that aren't as highly qualified, and so the scores would go down. We're actually in a position where our number of students is going up taking those exams, and like you said, percentage-wise, over half of juniors and seniors are taking these classes. And then their scores are going up as well, which is really quite remarkable.
Yeah, well, thanks to you guys and to the teaching staff who pushes these kids along and make sure they have the content for that. Well, we talked about academics, but fine arts winners, athletics winners. I mean, this is a well-rounded school, and most of the students do something extracurricular.
Yeah, we really encourage our kids to be involved outside of the classroom, and the stats are, I think we're like in between 70 to 80% of our kids are involved in those three areas, and they perform at a very high level. I mean, our Super State for our wind ensemble has won in our short career, have won Super State championships 4 years, with just this past year of them being a state champion again.
And they can only do it like every other year, too.
Yeah, because then they're the honor band then. But about every 2 or 3 years, we're winning that state championship again, and that just says a lot for our band program and our music program. But, you come out to orchestras, plays, musicals, what we love to do is be walking around this place after school and just seeing kids all over the place, extracurricularly, both sports and student activities and the fine arts. And we do, you just see, sometimes the parents tease us, they're like, you see our kids more than we do, because they're back at school so often.
Yeah, they are. And like you said, there's something for everyone, because just because we're a smaller school, it doesn't mean we don't have it. We have all the same athletic programs, music programs, probably more.
Student clubs, we've got it all. And I was just remarking with our athletic director the other day, just thinking about the numbers of kids that do multiple things. So we don't have kids that are just just athletes, just fine arts performing kids, just into clubs. They do a range of all different things, which is, again, great for them to be able to have, great for our family.
That's a really great thing to create these lifelong learners who can go on to college and get accepted to college and go on to a life that's really full. And most of the kids are accepted to college. Whether they choose to go or not, that's another thing, but they all are getting in.
Yeah, it's amazing what you see a lot of times. They do so much, but you'll see sponsors, both coaches and sponsors working together. They'll have a conflict, and they'll always work together to make sure that the student can do both of those activities. And some schools, they may say, you know what, you've got to pick between these. But our sponsors and our coaches just work together to let the kids have these experiences, and I think that's really important.
And Vernon Hills High School is a hub of the community. Like you said, people are in here, they're watching the concerts, they're going to the sporting events. And I know you encourage people to come in and watch these things, even if they don't have kids in school, because you are a community hub.
Correct, yeah. The community support here is just fantastic. You just love working with the village and the fire and the police, and just, you know, you come back to anything, the community is here supporting it so positively for us. And really, when I look back over these last 10, 11 years, one of the highlights is the support that we get from our community. They're just so excited to have a high school in Vernon Hills, and you know, it's just been a great relationship, a partnering with everybody.
Well, and I know if people want to show that positive support, you have the District 128 Foundation where people can give money and support that way. Yeah. People can also get involved through the District 128 Community Ed. There's programs and courses and things you can take all the time to get to know this beautiful building better. So if people want to find out more about that sort of thing, I know your websites have a lot, or you can always call over to the office.
Sure. Yeah. The district website as well as the school websites all have that. The foundation has its own website. So just in terms of a commercial, if you've not been to the school, to a concert, to an event, please get here. We'd love to have you, for sure.
Well, and I tell you, it's the best ticket in town. Usually it's free, and most of the time you're seeing something like you would have to drive a long ways for, and it's our own kids. That's so cool. So you're going to know somebody who's doing something anyway. Absolutely. So, well, I want to end with some dates. People should remember if your child is going to be involved in a fall sport here at Vernon Hills High School, that date is August 14th for that to start. Freshman orientation for VHHS is August 15th. And the first day of school is August 21st. That's a late start. And stay tuned, we're going to run the other first days for a lot of the other school districts when we get done here. So thank you so much for all you've done. Have a great transition year. You'll get used to being retired. We'll come back and talk to you this time next year, and you'll have it figured out.
She'll be hanging around with us, I'm sure. She'll be back. We'll have her back.
We'll have you back as the emeritus, and you can tell us what it's like to have a little bit more free time. But thank you for all you both have done. Absolutely. Thank you on behalf of our kids and our community. People do get involved with the high school. It's a great thing for all of us to have here. We remember a lot of us when we didn't have it. So thank you again. Thank you to your staff, and have a great back to school time.
Thanks, Lynn.
Well, if you've gone on to the village's website lately, you have seen a new and improved and really fresh-looking website. We've had some changes over here. So we're here to talk to Will Rockwell at Village Hall, because he's our expert on what's going on online. You're the expert today, at least, on this. So, and we do have a really fresh new website that's been up for a few weeks now.
It has.
And tell us a little bit about the idea behind redesigning.
Well, the website hadn't been redesigned in over 8 years, and we kind of recognized that with the advent of social media and all, of course, new web technologies and mobile phones and tablets that we needed to refresh our website and make our website not only plug into our social media outlets, but also be available on a mobile device as well. And so that's when we kind of started thinking about, okay, when we rebuild our website, what do we want to do?
And when you think about it, 8 years in tech terms, it's like a lifetime for anything else. So, and I know that you had all the social media, but it just wasn't attaching to our website very well. You were trying to jerry-rig things up, so it's nice to have it the way you want it now.
Yeah, with our new website, we have like dedicated, recognizable social media icons for our YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And, before we just kind of had not very professional looking links. And so with this, we're hoping to allow people to just find out more about the village and get the information they need to find.
But I know when you went into this process, it wasn't something you all took lightly. You looked at a variety of companies and a variety of resources and solutions.
Yeah, we vetted originally about 4 different companies and settled on Civic Plus, who has done several other government websites in the area. And we started this process in around October, and our website just went live here in June.
Okay, so, and I know before we went on, began to tape, we were talking about, can you see if it's changing traffic? And one of the things you mentioned to me is what's nice is you will be able to get those kind of numbers from this new website, where it was a little difficult with the old one.
Yeah, the old one, it was difficult and expensive to actually get analytics out of the website. But with this one, we do have a lot of analytic tools, so we can see how many visitors we're getting, what pages are they visiting more often, and we can try to bring those to the forefront and try to make our website even more usable.
So a little bit more information for you to work with no expense at that, just a chance to look at the data.
Yeah, that is part of the contract.
Yeah, very good. That sounds like a good contract.
Right.
So the website is the same. It's www.vernonhills.org.
Yes.
But the look is completely different. But you'll know it's Vernon Hills because there's a lot of great artwork on there. That's all from us.
That's right. Everything from summer celebration photos to, Run from the Cops to all of the events that we hold throughout the village throughout the year can be easily displayed.
Very, very interesting, very user-friendly too, so make sure you take a look. Go onto the village website. It's always had a lot of information there, but look around now. You'll find that it does work very, very slick, very smooth, and if you have comments or questions or you'd like improvements, give Will a call, send him an email, and I'm sure he'll take that into consideration.
That's right.
Thanks very much. Thanks for taking the time, and thanks for your good work on this.
Thank you.
We are at beautiful Big Bear Lake, Century Park, and we're here this time to talk about Rib Fest from the Vernon Hills Park District with the Vernon Hills Park District's Marty Walsh. He is Mr. Rib Fest, and I have to say, for a sunny day that we're taping this, we've got the fairest skin crew ever, so we're going to talk quick because it's a beautiful day, but there's a lot of sun. Thanks for taking the time, Marty. I know last time we talked, you gave us a little bit of tease about what's coming up for Rib Fest, August 23rd and 24th over here. Let's talk again. Food, music, great time.
Oh yeah, we're very excited. This is going to be our 3rd annual. We've got some of the nation's best blues music coming. We've got Shamika Copeland, who a lot of people may have been to the Chicago Blues Fest recently. I saw her perform as one of the headliners. We've got opening for her on Friday night also is Anna Popovich, who is originally from Eastern Europe, but has built a huge following here. So we're going to basically have the Women in Blues on Friday night. And then on Saturday, we've got a couple other really great blues band powerhouses, starting off with Indigenous, who's got a phenomenal guitar player. If you like Stevie Ray Vaughan, you're really going to love this band. We've also got a newer band that's getting on the circuit, getting a lot of notoriety. It's called Trampled Underfoot. They're a trio of siblings out of the Kansas City area who have been winning awards left and right in the Memphis Blues Challenge and all across the country, winning awards from all kinds of different blues societies. So really check them out. They're going to be.
And if you want to learn more about what you're going to see, check the Little Bear Rib Fest website, because you've got links to these bands, like that Trampled Underfoot band. I guess the whole family, including the parents, have always been musical. Yeah. So it's really a legend, and they've really caught the middle of the country on fire. And you talked about Anna Popovich, and I was looking too, that she's got a huge following in the Netherlands as well. So she's become like a worldwide phenom. And then Shamika Shamika has been crowned, what's that, the Queen of Blues
Queen
for
of the Blues,
Chicago?
yeah. She's taking over for Coco Taylor. As you all remember, Coco was, one of the best blues singers we've ever had the pleasure of seeing. So Shamika is definitely up there with her. So make sure you check her out.
This is really exciting to bring this kind of music to Vernon Hills, and I know you've had some great crowds come in. And it really is. It's about the music, and it's about the barbecue. It's not. This isn't a carnival here. This is kind of more of an adult-themed thing. So tell us also about the food. You've got a lot of barbecue guys.
Well, of course, the name is Little Bear Rib Fest. So we are very thrilled and proud to have all of our returning rib vendors back this year. For all of you that are watching in Vernon Hills, we've got Real Urban Barbecue, who, if you haven't been there, run, do not walk to Real Urban Barbecue. They've got some great food there. Another local place is Smoke and Teas over in Long Grove. Barb and Tom do a great a pulled pork sandwich, some great ribs there too. Also up in this area is a Full Slab. They've got another great location up there in I forget the name of the community, but it'll be scrolling down on the bottom of the screen, I'm sure. And we've also got Sweet Baby Ray's, who of course everybody knows they're ubiquitous with their barbecue sauce, so make sure you come check out Sweet Baby Ray's. And finally, down from the western suburbs is Uncle Bub's, who actually on the national circuit, they've won a lot of national awards through the different larger competitions. So those are going to be our rib vendors. We've also got, one more, we've got Brothers Ribs from Palatine, who will be joining us. So we've got 6 rib vendors, and then we've also got a couple non-rib vendors this year. We're going to be bringing back the corn roasters from Rotary here in the area, and also Bobo's, who is right over here, is going to be doing dessert. So
excellent. So you can get a full meal again. Now, and let's remind people how this works. It's $5 per person to get in, unless you're under 5, then you're free. $5 to get in the park. So that's your music ticket.
that's it, $5.
And then
for this kind of music.
For this kind of music, where otherwise you'd have to go down to Blues Fest, you'd have to go to Memphis, you're going to have to travel. Just come over to Century
No
Park.
Ticketmaster fees, no.
$5 to get in, and it's for the community. It supports the community.
Exactly.
And then as far as your meal, you'll pay for that, for what you want to eat. So.
Exactly. We'll have all of the food vendors are cash only. Some do take credit cards, and then the beer sales will be a ticketed beer sales.
So we're pretty good at knowing how to buy tickets for the refreshment tent. So that let's double check here. You always have no coolers, no outside food, no dogs, no pets, nothing like that. It's just to be here and enjoy each other's company. But you can bring your lawn chairs.
Yeah,
bring
your lawn chairs. Bring a blanket. Make a day of it. We've got plenty of places to sit. We've moved the beer tent to the north side of the plaza, so there'll be a large open area right behind me for seating. And if you've never been to this park before, this is one of the best parks in Lake County, and not just because I work here, but this is one of the largest and nicest parks in the area.
We're really fortunate. The parks we have around here are beautiful, beautiful. So now we're talking Friday, August 23rd, and Saturday, August 24th, 6 to midnight on the 23rd, and 3 p.m. to midnight on Saturday. So you can eat a couple meals while you're over there.
Yes, exactly. The main change to the schedule this year is we've added an hour each night. So instead of ending at 11 o'clock, we're going to end at midnight. And we're also working on some possible entertainment in the beer tent following the main stage entertainment. So stay tuned on the website for more information. You can also find us on Facebook at Little Bear Rib Fest. And if you do Twitter, you can also find us at Little Bear Rib Fest.
Okay, excellent. So there's a lot of places to get information. Check the schedule. Just put it on your calendar and come on over. It's a great community time. Parking over at Westfield.
Parking over at Westfield, yep. We'll have a free shuttle bus running during the entire duration. Each night starting at about 6 o'clock, we'll have a free shuttle both to and from, so don't worry about if you've got strollers and things like that and lawn chairs and blankets. Just park over there and we'll take care of you.
And it's not that far a walk either from there.
No.
A lot of people walk from the neighborhood. So thank you very much, Marty, for taking the time. Mr. Reb Fest, a 3rd annual. It's going to be great.
Yes,
so thanks for making it happen again.
Yes, and also as we do get ready, I do just want to thank the Village of Vernon Hills, most importantly Dave Brown and Public Works, everybody, the police department, Countryside, everybody's really stepped up this year and embraced this event. So thank you all to everybody for helping out. We look forward to another great event.
It is going to be great. Another great community event. That's how we operate around here. So
Yeah.
thanks, Marty. Best wishes. We'll see you all at Little Bear Rib Fest. Thanks. Well, you know it's summer, so that means there's bugs, mosquitoes in particular. We're with our favorite entomologist, George Ballas of Clark, and Clark is the organization that takes care of our mosquito abatement and control here in Vernon Hills. So thanks for joining us for the annual update on the mosquito population.
Thanks for having me, Lynn. It's always a pleasure.
Well, and I think that we've had kind of an unusual summer this summer. There's been rain, there's been some periods of heat, things like that. What does that do to our mosquito population this year?
Well, the first 6 months of the year have actually been the wettest 6 months in Chicagoland history. So it does bring about a lot of potential breeding areas for mosquitoes. We are getting into the extension of the summer where it starts to warm up tremendously, and that may dry out the season a little bit more, but mosquitoes are dynamic, so they change week to week, month to month.
They're pretty tenacious too. So I know part of what you do here for Vernon Hills is you treat in the storm sewers and you do things like that.
Yeah, we do a lot of larviciding, treatment of standing water areas. So whether it's roadside ditches that have water, ponds, wetlands, or even storm drains like this, mosquitoes like to breed where there is water. So we do a lot of treatments on that in that phase. And then we do some adult control when populations increase to knock down those populations again, reducing that cycle where the mosquitoes can lay their eggs and continue to
And the methods you guys use for that adult population, that's when we get the message that you're out with the trucks.
Yeah, the trucks come around and we actually do an evening application. Adult mosquitoes are flying during the evening, so we do a spraying that knocks down those and kills those adult mosquitoes so that they can't lay eggs in those storm drains and such and continue on.
So would that make sense then why you're always telling us like to tip the water out of your pots, don't leave like a kiddie pool to get stagnant, the bird baths, things like that?
A lot of mosquitoes like to breed around the homes, and especially after heavy rainfalls or even when it gets dry, those little artificial containers can hold a very little amount of water. So the little amount of water can actually breed mosquitoes. So when we drive up and down the streets and you see little maple trees growing in people's gutters, that generally means that there's water up there and there may be mosquitoes breeding as well. So getting rid of water in those cases helps out, particularly around the home.
Okay, and when we talk about what we can do, besides that, we can also treat our bodies. We can give ourselves some repellents and things like that so that we can be more safe. And you always say, look for DEET.
Well, there's 4 different types, DEET being kind of the gold standard, and then there's picaridin, oil of lemon eucalyptus, and IR 3535. These are 4 repellents that are recommended from the Centers for Disease Control for use. DEET-based repellents can be used on children, according to the Academy of Pediatrics, down to 2 months of age. So utilizing repellents when mosquitoes are active. So if you're in an area where you're hiking and mosquitoes are active, use repellents. If you're not out during the day, it's a sunny day today, we don't need the repellent, but during the evening we'll put it on right before we go out.
Well, and I've seen those gadgets where they look like little fans, and people, that way you aren't putting something right on your body. Do those things work?
They do in much smaller areas. So if you hook it onto your belt and you're sitting down, it will actually repel mosquitoes in a very small area. But if you read the directions, you cannot walk with these because the actual repellent follows behind you and you get no exposure. So on most of those, it says between 3 and 5 minutes that you need to be sitting in one location.
So good for like the picnic table and the picnicking area.
Yeah, if you're out and about and you're having a little barbecue, that might help out for you and your husband, situation. But you can also use oscillating fans. Mosquitoes don't like to fly in wind. There's other things that you can do like that as well.
So just by keeping the wind movement, even artificially, that'll keep them out of the way.
That is the same thing that when we have windy days, we don't have mosquitoes as well.
Makes sense. And I think you've told us before, mosquitoes really don't like to travel that far. So if we do keep our yards in good shape, we will have a less of a problem.
Yes, particularly the type that carries West Nile virus, like to come off the water very near to where they're at and then just migrate and take blood meals from either, horses or humans or dogs or birds. So getting rid of standing water around your house helps tremendously. Now, floodwater mosquitoes do have large fly migration march, so it can be far, miles and things of that sort, but nothing to worry about. If you get rid of those around your house, wear repellent when mosquitoes are active, those are the steps that you should be taking.
Okay. And when you mention dogs, that also reminds me, I've heard people say that ticks are a problem, and since you're our favorite entomologist, are there some other critters that are having a big year this year?
Well, ticks, especially since it's been so wet, have been very common, particularly in taller grasses. Some of the things that you do for mosquitoes are the exact same things that you need to do here. If you're out in an area where ticks are active, you can use repellent like DEET. 20 to 50% will actually help you with that. You might want to tuck your pants into your socks if you're walking through a heavily wooded area, but also just checking your body. And for dogs and other animals, make sure that you contact your veterinarian. They'll have some ideas for you as well.
Some of the products that you can get from your vet to
Yes.
put on your animal. Well, you know what? You always have a lot of good information about the bugs and things like that. And I know you always say go to CDC. The CDC website has some information.
Yep, it's Fight the Bite or cdc.gov, and those West Nile virus, that'll come up with more recommendations for things around your home, talk about the repellents that are available as well.
And if you want to know what Clark does too, you can get a hold of Clark, or you can call Public Works, because Public Works, they let us know when you're out spraying and things like that. And you can find out more from them as well. But you guys are always on call to answer. That's really nice too. So
We do have a hotline, 800-942-2555 is the hotline that people can call in and report standing water, be put on a prior notification list. So there's several things that they can do at that line as well.
okay, that's good to know. So if you see standing water and you want to make sure they're on it, give them a call. So thanks for the time, George. Have a great rest of your summer, and thanks for taking care of all these bugs around us.
Thank you for your time today.
Well, that wraps up this edition of the Vernon Hills Update. But remember, if you have comments or suggestions, please contact Mike Stordo at 847-918-3560 or email Mike S. at thehills.org. Thank you for tuning in to the Vernon Hills Update.